What's it like being a carriage rider? Is it... How do you survive on your own?
Greetings, traveler. Quite the storm we're having, isn't it? Where can I take you on this fine snow?
I am curious, though, how you survive these dangerous passes.
Ah, you're wondering how I managed to navigate through these treacherous blizzards? Well, it's not easy, I can tell you that. Takes a lot of skill and experience.
Well, I'm also curious how you don't get murdered by trolls or orcs or bandits. Like, what have you got to protect yourself? How do you provide surety for your passengers?
It's a valid concern, friend. The roads of Skyrim are fraught with dangers, trolls, orcs, bandits, and the like. But I've been doing this a long time, and Plus, my trusty horse here is quick and sure-footed.
A carriage full of travelers can't possibly withstand an attack from a group of bandits. What's your technique? What's your strategy?
I often have a carriage full of travelers. It's my job to get them safely to their destination, no matter the conditions or the dangers that await.
And that's why Alpharin is the best carriage driver in all Skyrim. His experience and bravery are unmatched.
Well, don't question that. I'm just curious how you can possibly withstand an attack. I've traveled these lands, and the bandits are in groups of 5 or more, well armed. You're in a wooden carriage on your own with innocent people. How can you possibly withstand an attack?
You raise a fair point, and it's true that the odds can sometimes be stacked against us. But I'm not entirely on my own out there.
The carriage might look like simple wood, but it's...
Yeah, but if you're, if there are 2 bowmen and 2 men with swords and maybe a mage, I don't see how you can possibly fight them off.
In a situation like that, I would rely on my evasive driving skills to get us out of harm's way. I know these roads like the back of my hand, and I can navigate them at high speeds. You're right. The wilds can be lawless and unpredictable. If faced with attackers on horseback, I would use my knowledge of the terrain. There are hidden paths and shortcuts that I know.
In the worst-case scenario, we also have a few tricks up our sleeve.
Oh, do tell. What are these tricks?
Well, for starters, I always keep a few smoke bombs. If we're being pursued, I can create a diversion and make it harder for them to follow us.
And we've also got a stash of oil slick. If we need to make a quick getaway, Alpharin can deploy those to slow down anyone chasing us.
Well, I'm actually starting to be convinced. What weapons do you carry should they get aboard? I think you've nearly convinced me of taking a ride with you. Tell me, if we are attacked and they board, what weapons do you have to repel them?
In the event that attackers manage to board the carriage, I keep a crossbow within arm's reach. It's loaded and ready to go at a moment's notice. I'm a decent shot, if I do say so myself.
And there's also a stash of swords and shields under the seat.
Oh, I see a sword within arm's reach below your seat. I'd not noticed that before. Where did you learn to fight?
I picked up my fighting skills during my younger days when I used to work as a mercenary. It was a tough life, but it taught me how to handle myself in combat. I've had to use those skills more than a few times on these roads.
I see a sword beneath your seat. What type of sword is it, if I may ask?
Ah, you've got a good eye. The swords I keep beneath the seats are sturdy and reliable. They've served me well in the past when I've needed to defend myself.
I'd like to hire your carriage.
Where do you want?
Falkreath.